Hey guys, so first of all, I just want to say please excuse my hair and the way I look today. I feel like I say that in every video, but I literally just got out of the shower, so my hair is soaking wet. But when inspiration hits, it hits, you know? So I just had to start recording. Today I wanted to share my Harry Potter story with you. I can't believe that I've never done this before. I've briefly touched upon it, but I wanted to talk more in depth about my Harry Potter story. I've seen a lot of YouTubers do this and I thought it's about time I jumped on the bandwagon and did it too. I think the reason I've never done it before is because it's very, very deep and personal to me. The reasons that I'm into Harry Potter so much, and I do struggle to talk about some of it, but I will try my hardest for you guys. If you don't know, I mean, if you're on my channel, then you probably do, but I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. 9 3/4 of my channel is dedicated to Harry Potter. I have an entire room in my house that's just covered in Harry Potter merchandise that I've collected. I'm incredibly lucky with some of the things I've been able to do, and that's all due to Harry Potter. I wouldn't say my whole life revolves around it, because of course there are other things I enjoy, but a large portion of my life does, and I just wanted to take this opportunity today to explain to you why, really. I was quite a late starter to the Harry Potter fandom. The first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, came out in 1997, and I was born in 1995, so I was 3 years old when the first book came out. And while I've always been a very good reader, a very quick reader, I'm not quite that good. I can't remember Harry Potter being a huge part of my life as a child. It's definitely more a part of my life as an adult, which is quite strange really, but also kind of understandable with some of the themes in the book. I must have read Philosopher's Stone as a child, however, even though I have no recollection of it. I do have notes here, which is why I'm looking down, because for my English class in primary school, or one of my English classes, at age 7, so that would have been in 2003, I wrote a mini, let's call it an essay, even though it wasn't, on why Hermione Granger was my favourite character, and I do still have that somewhere. I have no recollection of writing that. Hermione Granger is not my favourite Harry Potter character now, but she must have been when I was 7 years old. It must have been a copy from school or the library or something like that, because I did not own it. My first book, which I do still own, was actually Goblet of Fire, and I've spoken about this before. I was walking past a charity shop with my dad one day. I would have been probably, let's say, between the ages of 10 and 12, because I'm not quite sure. There was a free box outside of a charity shop, and a slightly damaged copy of Goblet of Fire was in that free box. So I picked it up and took it home. I opened Goblet of Fire, read the first few pages, and then I thought, hang on, this is, this isn't right, this isn't the first book. And I must have known it wasn't the first book. So I either bought the rest of the books, or rather my parents probably bought me the rest of the books, or I got them from the library. I really can't remember, but I did start reading them. And it was at that point, let's say between the ages of 10 and 12, where I first started reading Philosopher's Stone. That was when I was hooked. My obsession has only grown and my love has only grown since then, but that was the moment that I was hooked on the series. In terms of the films, I honestly don't know. The first film I remember seeing in the cinema was Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, I believe. I feel like I saw it. I know I definitely saw Half-Blood Prince because I have that, the cinema ticket, the cinema stub for that. And I can't remember when, I'm just going to Google because I can't remember when the Order of the Phoenix film came out. Order of the Phoenix came out in 2007, so I would have been 12 when Order of the Phoenix came out, if my maths is right, 2007. So yeah, it's quite plausible that I would have seen that in the cinema maybe. I don't know if there is a rating on it, PG-13 or anything like that. I think it might be a PG-13, so maybe I didn't see it in the cinema. I can't remember. I can't really tell you my first memories of the films, to be honest. Obviously, I love them now, but I don't really know when I got into the films, which is quite sad, really. We're on to the bit that really got it for me. So like I said, when I first started reading Philosopher's Stone for, I guess, the second time, when I was between the ages of 10 and 12, I was hooked on the series, but it didn't really mean a great deal to me. And as a teenager, I went through quite a lot. Some bad things happened. I developed depression and anxiety, a lot of mental health problems, which I still have. I've been dealing with depression and anxiety since I was 13 years old. It's difficult. I've spoken a bit about my mental health on this channel. Depression and anxiety and life happened in general, And I can safely say, the God's honest truth, the Harry Potter series did save my life. I was going through a really tough time, like I said. I was really struggling, and Harry Potter was such an escape from the real world and what was happening. And when I was reading Harry Potter, I was somewhere else. I was in Hogwarts. I was with Harry, Ron and Hermione, or I would have probably been with Draco, because let's be real, 100% Slytherin. It was such an escape for me from the normality of real life, and that still is a thing today. It's not as pronounced now. As a teenager, you know, when I was going through all this hard stuff, the only thing that kept me afloat really was Harry Potter. Now it still is. I do use Harry Potter as a form of escapism, but I'm also a lot more realistic about it as well. I have very strong feelings of reading Prisoner of Azkaban around the time all this was happening, and all the Dementor scenes, all of them, I would just be in floods of tears, because I don't know if you guys probably know, but J.K. Rowling went through depression herself, and she wrote the Dementors as a personification of depression. For someone who suffers with it, it's so hard to read it and go through all that when you're going through that yourself at the time, but it also made me stronger. I found my own version of Expecto Patronum to get rid of those Dementors. Harry Potter really, really, truly did save my life. I know it sounds very melodramatic, but it is the truth. And I actually told J.K. Rowling that in a letter, which is kind of how I got my autograph from her, but that's a different story. Harry Potter is, you know, such a huge thing, and I love it so much because anyone can read it. You know, you can be a very young child, having it read to you by your parents. You can be 90 years old and reading it for the first time, and it will be completely different to each of us, but it, you know, it will be still a great story, and just the escapism of it and everything is just so magical and wonderful. Obviously, then I started collecting. I can't remember when I first started collecting either. I can't even really remember what my first piece was. I remember some of my earlier pieces, but I can't remember exactly what the first piece was, unfortunately. Of course, it is the Goblet of Fire battered book, but I mean, apart from the books collection-wise, probably one of the video games on PlayStation 1 would have been my first thing, I would say, or one of my first things. I do have very fond memories of the video games on PS1 and PS2 as well. Somehow, from a tiny, tiny collection to then being one cupboard on the stairs, quite ironically, on the stairs, not under them, to being one tiny cupboard, to being a cupboard and a shelf, led to an entire room. So that happened somehow. My first autograph was a preprint of Bonnie Wright when I wrote to her, probably around 2013, 2014. And then, of course, 3.5 years ago, I made this YouTube channel. One of my first videos on this channel was talking about Harry Potter and my Harry Potter collection. And like I said, on this channel I have a lot of content on a lot of different things, which I appreciate is very confusing for a lot of you guys. I was going to do a video about this as well. I don't know how many of you came here just for Harry Potter, but please let me know in the comments box below if you are a subscriber because of Harry Potter or because of another fandom, because I'd actually really be interested to know that. And this channel is mental health wise has helped me a great deal. You guys, honestly, I could tell you 1,000 times and you will never know how, I don't want to get emotional, but you will never know how much you guys have helped me so much by just sitting and listening to these. That's the short version of my Harry Potter story. Then, of course, Fantastic Beasts has come along. We've had Pottermore. I've been to the studio tour, the Warner Brothers studio tour, 4 times now. I'm saving up to go to the Wizarding World, hopefully. I've been to Edinburgh and visited some Harry Potter locations, some J.K. Rowling locations. I've been to London a few times, quite a few times. I've seen Cursed Child. I've been to quite a few filming locations for Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts now, filming locations in Liverpool, all things like that. And none of that would have been possible, of course, without the Harry Potter franchise. I've made also some incredible friends through Harry Potter. I'm quite lucky that a few of my real life friends do enjoy Harry Potter and they don't mind me talking about it so much, but the online friends I have made through Harry Potter and other things it's just incredible. I was an admin for a Facebook page for a long, long time, but things got in the way and I unfortunately had to stop doing that. Little things like that are just so incredible. I've been a co-admin for an Instagram, a Harry Potter Instagram fan page. Again, I'm not anymore because things get in the way, but it's just incredible that these opportunities are available to us just because of one little book series, you know. It's incredible. Forever be grateful to J.K. Rowling for creating this wonderful franchise. J.K. Rowling saved my life, and, you know, there's nothing else you can say. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry if this is a bit of a long, rambly video, but it is hard for me to talk about things like that, so that's why I'm a bit stoppy-starty with it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry again that it's rambly, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.